Vibe blowing up the jag. Got the loud jumping up the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping up the bag. Vibe blowing up my jag. Got the loud jumping up the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping out the bag. Another milestone, look at that. Paper boy on my paper route till I'm 6 down on my back. I'm an old soul like my dad. My old girl's still a fan. And yo girl at the live show, so don't act like I ain't the man. I'm kicking my feet up, get frank like Aretha. I'm calm but I'm teed up, just flip me a stack. The re-up just doubled up off of the muscle, I stuck to the task. They see me, I'm troubled, I'm bubbling up till it's stuck. And they want me to stay where I'm at. I'm good everywhere that I'm stepping, my presence is crucial. You know that this shit not no trend. On a big wave, I'm controlling the tide. Snake eyes when you rolling the dice. So with the stakes inside, I could never take another nigga advice. They can't reach the sky, I'm aiming up high. Just wanna know what it's like. Y'all know what it's like, I come from outside of this. Out the quicksand, I'm the big man, doing big things. Couple big change, up a state lines, doing stage dives on cam. Get my good side. It ain't no limit to my vision. Check the temp, I'm on fire with it. Got the band jumping out the bag, Prosecco on ice. I'm nobody nice. Go run up a check, demand my respect. I'm doing the most, I never quit. They want me to quit. I'm good as it come, I'm good as it gets. Vibe blowing at the jag, got the loud jumping out the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping out the bag. Vibe blowing at my jag, got the loud jumping out the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping out the bag. Vibe blowing on the jag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is she might be what I need. She gets spicy, want taste test, come bite me. Yeah, I'm icy, way too icy. I get paper, on big screen, I'm spiky. I'm vibing, vibing, too wavy. I could tell they wanna get like me. Timid straight shooter, I'm dumping the clip that I'm dipping. Hitting the mark with the weightiest art. I rage with my heart and it's right with my wrists. Cut up the pay with the real ones, I see a few million. We want it, we need it, let's get it. Long live the niggas that get it, they live how they say it. A sentence, we really the trillest. Please don't pretend with that love that you send it is fuck if you like me, I call me the Bennett. Somebody tell God forgive me, I'm sinning. I think that she know, but he got me, I'm winning. Cloud is a dangerous drug and your phone is the plug. Everybody on that shit pretending. So many lost and they chasing what's trending. Boy, yeah, let's forget it, I'm back to my senses. I'm only helping a man in the mirror. From here on, I'm open, I'm focused. Okay, I lied if you riding, I'm riding. I put on the folks and trusting me. Get with it, come fuck with me. I don't, but it's love, you stuck with me. I'm coming in clutch for me. Get with it, they get lost, ain't nobody touching me, yeah. She like me, she might be what I need. She get spicy, want taste test, come bite me. Yeah, I'm icy, way too icy. I get paper, on big screen, I'm spiky. Too wavy, and she and they wanna get like me. I'm vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, come and get like me. She like me, she might be what I need. Too icy, way too icy. I get paid, a big screen, on spike me. I'm vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, I can tell they wanna get like me. I'm vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, come and get like me.
Before you tell me that I've changed a lot, take a minute to consider a lot has changed me.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay and everything looks good, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me or things are looking bad or sounding bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who's in the building early. All right. Shout out to Vovo. What's good with the Vovo? We got Mod Extraordinaire, Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all do exactly what she's saying there. Shout out to my man, Carlton Way. Shout out to Tedra, and shout out to everyone who has not typed anything into the chat yet. It is good to see you guys. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to take looks at what Trump is doing and ask the question, is what Trump is doing with the mass immigration, illegal border crossing, migrant crisis situation, is he delivering on his campaign promises? All right. If you ask me, he seems to be delivering on his campaign promises in a very aggressive way. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. All right. So what we're going to do is we got some videos. We got some articles. Y'all know the routine. We're going to try to run through this. My bad if it seems like I'm rushed. That's because I am. All right. So we're going to try to get through this. All right. So if you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me that favor. Smash that like button. If you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. All right. So Texas got some interesting stuff going on, right? We already know Greg Abbott wants to get that $11 billion refunded, all right, that he spent during the Biden administration to try to secure the Texas-Mexico border, all right? However, there are some people who oppose that in Texas. There's some protesters that do not feel that what Trump is doing is right, all right? So let's see what they're talking about.
Of this on social media, these videos, or the crowds themselves, a large turnout trying to send a message, and we've seen plenty of it all afternoon. Let's get right now live to our Ken Molestina. He is there in West Dallas, there on the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge, talking to some of those who have organized that particular march. Ken?
Yeah, Steve, and you were talking about the chant.
So I want you guys to see this, right? These protesters, right, quote unquote, the protesters, they're marching, right? And they're marching about the border policies. They're marching about the quote unquote mass deportation operations. They do not feel that this is correct. They don't feel that it's justice. They don't feel that it's justified. Now, let me ask you guys an obvious question, right? Maybe it's not so obvious. I don't know. How many people agree with these protesters? If you all agree with the protesters, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree with the protesters, then give me a thumbs down.
And CSEP where the Yes We Can, something we have heard a lot out here today. This is a demonstration of protest that began at 3 o'clock, and I want you to have a look over my shoulder so you can see what's left of it here. Several hundred people out here off of Singleton and Beckley. This is on the west side of the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. Now, I can tell you that everything here has been very peaceful so far, but I will tell you that Dallas PD right now, keeping a real close eye on this crowd. They were asking them to stay off the street, to stay on the sidewalks in the meeting, but as you can see, they have taken the street now, and they are marching down in a westerly direction on Singleton Singleton, down towards the Trinity Groves area. But again, this is something that at its peak, we estimated north of 1,000 people showed up to this. So let's show you some video of what it looked like earlier here today. Again, this is a protest, a demonstration that was organized earlier this week. It was organized by a couple of 16-year-olds on social media. You're going to hear from one of them in just a little bit. But again, this call for
Hey, who saw the look? Hey, look at that. Hey, what y'all think about that picket sign with Trump on it? Oh man, that's hilarious, man. They wilding with that picket sign. That's like South Park Trump, man.
16-year-olds on social media. You're going to hear from one of them in just a little bit. But again, this call for action, this call for protesters and demonstrators to show up is something that gained a lot of speed in the past couple of days here. And of course, it all started here at 3 o'clock on this Saturday over here on the west side of the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. It is an area that is known to many immigrant families, to families who like to come out here on the weekends and spend some time, some downtime, and enjoy some leisure out here. So that's why they picked this spot. I want you to hear what one of the organizers had to say. Have a listen.
To be honest, we didn't expect that we were going to get this much attention on social media. It started with a small idea on TikTok, and it became something really big. Don't be afraid. If you can't speak up for yourself, there is someone out there that will. Try not to be rude or like mean. You know someone that's probably undocumented that works at a store. It could be anyone. It could be your neighbor, or it could be someone in your neighborhood. Just don't have a cruel heart, man. We're all human, and we just came here for the American dream.
Now, let me ask y'all this question. How many of y'all agree with what she's saying? If y'all agree with her, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, give me a thumbs down.
All right, back out live. I want to give you another look down the street from what we can see here. This is what I was telling you about, Steve, earlier. These are the crowds that were being asked to stay to the sidewalks and to the median, not to actually cross onto the street. DPD has had a presence here throughout the entire afternoon, and they were asking them to stay to the sidewalks and to the medians. Obviously, that is not the case right now. You can see that they have taken to the streets down on Singleton, just west of Beckley over here near the restaurants here on Trinity Groves on the west side of the bridge. Not sure how much longer DPD is going to allow them to do this, but if we swing over to my left here a little bit, you can see some more people that are walking down in that direction. I'd estimate, Steve, this is going to be about maybe 200 or 300 people that we're talking about that are on the streets right now. So at this point, I'm not sure if DPD's plan is to sort of let them do what they're doing for a little while longer, let the crowds disperse on their own. The temperatures are dropping out here, so there is an expectation that perhaps people are just going to get cold and want to go home. But again, that is the situation out here. These folks have taken to the streets. Otherwise, it has been a rather peaceful demonstration and protest all throughout the afternoon. But clearly, Steve, we're keeping a close eye on all of this right now to see just how much longer police are going to allow them to take the streets before they sort of escalate this into their next phase of enforcement. Because again, the message out here was protest, do what you got to do, demonstrate if you have to, but you have to stay off the streets and things have to remain peaceful. So we're keeping a real close eye on this right now. Guys, back to you.
Just to give folks a little bit of bearing there where you are, that essentially where that large crowd is, Ken, right in front of Trinity Groves, heading to the west on Singleton there into that residential area. I know you know this has been the last couple of hours, and what I think a lot of folks understand, we're talking large groups of families. I know there's a lot of young people out there, but I believe based on what I've seen here from the footage, a lot of families out there tonight.
Yeah, Steve, there have been a lot of families that have been out here, entire families that have shown up. This is a topic that affects many immigrant families that live in this side of town. So naturally, this was an obvious sort of an event for them to participate in. But again, you know, the crowd's at its peak, north of 1,000 people. Right now, we're down to a few hundred. And I think the hope here is that they start clearing out again soon. If we can we swing over here, because it looks like we have a couple of Dallas police units that are now approaching from the west side. We saw those crowds walking and marching down, but it looks like the police, what they're doing now is sort of closing in that gap, almost as to force them off the road or not allow them to walk back up the way that that they were. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. And again, so sorry about that. We have somebody here who's trying to interrupt our live report here. But anyway, Steve, that's the situation out here. From what I can tell, the majority of the crowd does seem to be dispersing. They seem to be going home. Again, the temperatures are dropping, so I don't anticipate that people are going to stay out here that much longer, and especially with the police now sort of certainly starting to increase their enforcement of the crowds and the crowd control out here, Steve.
Absolutely. Ken Molestina there at the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge as it heads west into West Dallas with that street protest, that street march there on the Dallas side. But we are also watching a similar protest happening in Fort Worth as we speak. A group.
So they got these protests popping off all over the place. All right. They're protesting about this situation all over. Shout out to Unsunken One. What's good with it, bro? All right. So now next, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what else is going on in Texas. All right. And some funding has gotten cut off. All right. And this is one of the things that people have been complaining about a lot, is all of this money that's going to this effort, right? Department of Justice cuts off federally funded legal aid to detained immigrants. All right. So, first we got to ask the question, how many people knew that quote unquote detained immigrants were getting federal funding? If you guys were aware that detained immigrants were getting federal funding, give me a thumbs up. If you were not aware of that, give me a thumbs down. If you weren't aware, you're aware now, right? The U.S. Department of Justice told immigration attorneys who aid detained immigrants through a federal program to stop providing legal services as part of the Trump administration's ongoing changes to the immigration system, according to legal aid groups. To be told we can't go in and help people is devastating. So more to the people we're trying to help who are being cut off from the outside world, said Michael Lucan, executive director for Amica Center for Immigrant Rights, the contractor that provides legal services. We often hear people don't know what's happening or why they are detained, which is wild because they got to know that they came to the United States illegally, right? Like they didn't just end up here. They didn't just appear here. You know what I'm saying? They knew that what they were doing was illegal and they came here. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, we often hear people don't know what's happening or why they are detained. What is going to happen next? And we were being stopped from reaching that basic level of orientation. All right. The January 22nd DOJ memo told legal providers to stop work immediately in the 4 programs that provide legal services to detained immigrants, including the Legal Orientation Program, which Congress has funded since 2003. All right. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Why has Congress funded this program since 2003? I think that's a great question to ask, because I don't think a lot of people knew that these programs existed, and I don't think a lot of people would really be too happy about their tax money going there, especially seeing how they didn't have a decision in it. Right? Everybody's got a decision in all of this stuff except for the taxpayers, and the taxpayers are the ones that's paying for it, right? The other programs include Immigration Court Help Desk, Counsel for Children Initiative, and Family Group Legal Orientation Program. This email is to send you notification to stop work immediately, pursuant to the executive order on the following task orders, the DOJ memo said, according to ABC News, which reported getting access to the memo. The programs provide legal services to immigrants facing deportation. We should check this out. There are 3.5 million cases in immigration courts nationwide, up from about 500,000 in 2014. Many of them are asylum claims, which can take up to 5 years to resolve. Unlike defendants in the criminal justice system, detained migrants don't have a right to an attorney, but can seek one of their own. The DOJ directive doesn't prohibit immigrants from hiring their own lawyers. About 25% of immigrants have a lawyer to represent them during immigration court proceedings, according to an analysis of immigration data by the Vera Institute for Justice, a criminal justice reform advocacy group based in New York. According to the National Immigrant Justice Center, immigrants with a lawyer are more likely to win their cases. All right. Now, again, for the most part, that's anybody with a lawyer, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all would disagree, give me a thumbs down. In most cases, if you have legal representation, in most cases, if you have an attorney, it's probably a higher likelihood that you will win your case or things will go the way that you want them to go. American Gateways, a subcontractor for the federal program and immigrant rights advocacy group based in Austin, served 7,000 detained migrants in 2024 across 3 immigration detention centers in Texas. Edna Young, co-executive director of American Gateways, said blocking detained immigrants from access to legal information will hurt people and the system itself. If you want an immigration system that works, you need to have one where individuals can move through that system and know the next steps, Yang said. Now, again, does it matter if you have an immigration system that works if people aren't using it? Because the situation that we have here is you might not even look at it like the immigration system. Let me ask you guys this. When it comes to these situations that we're looking at here, are these people even using the immigration system? Can it be said that they're even using the immigration system? If you ask me, it's arguable if they're even using the immigration system. Otherwise, if you put these barriers where they can't get information, what's going to happen is you're going to get increased backlogs and you're going to get an even slower system. And again, also, one thing that helps is when people actually follow the instructions. That helps a great deal, right? But we don't see that happening there. According to a DOJ analysis, immigration courts completed cases 12 days sooner for people who used the government's legal orientation program. The analysis also found that immigrants are detained for 6 fewer days than those who didn't use the legal program. The services saved the federal government more than $17.8 million, according to the DOJ's analysis. Immigration judges and U.S. Immigration's Customs and Enforcement agents have previously praised what they called an effective program that provides information to help migrants, quote unquote, make informed decisions. In 2018, the Trump administration attempted to do something similar when the U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced that the DOJ had cut off funding for immigration legal services. He later reversed his decision after a congressional committee told him it supported the legal services. All right. So, yeah, I think that this is interesting. Right. And honestly, if you ask me, it depends on how you look at it. But any of these programs, the people who come in legally should be the ones who are able to use those programs, and those programs shouldn't be available to people that come in illegally. Shout out to John Guillory. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit that bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to John. John said, what's good, Rob and fellow subs? Well, Rob ain't talking about crypto. I'm gone. Yeah, bro, I wish it was like that, right? Don't you wish it was actually like that? Unfortunately, it's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it's the opposite. All right. So let's check this video out. This is everybody's favorite cover girl, Laura Ingraham, right?
Weekend, and so far, so good. But with approximately 15 million illegals here, probably more, Tom Homan and the DHS will need to move with deliberate speed. They'll need to get creative. Everyone here illegally needs to return home so we can have peace in our home. And that's the angle. Joining us now is Vashon Tunsil, Chicago resident and activist, and Joe Borelli, minority leader of the New York City Council. Vashon, Tom Homan's deportations in Chicago, you heard your governor and you've heard your mayor. They're really upset by this. They say, oh, we're not going to interfere, but.
Okay, I just want to say this. First thing I want to say is thank you, Tom Homan, for doing an absolute great job for cleaning up the city of Chicago. I know you're not done yet. And I have another thing to say to Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker. How do you guys sleep at night knowing that there are rapists out here that committed these heinous crimes against the children and the women? How do you guys sleep at night knowing that we're $500 million in debt when it comes to these illegals? How do these men sleep at night knowing that you're putting illegal immigrants that are committing crimes over the American citizens? I just can't believe that they're doing this.
Well, and Joe, each illegal immigrant in the United States, I got an illegal alien. Immigrants are the people we welcome in because they want to be part of the national fabric. They want to contribute to the society. But Joe, they cost on average $8,000 a year in subsidies, healthcare, schooling, all the other vouchers they receive from various entities. So the idea that this doesn't cost us anything, this costs us hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah, we have the receipts here in New York. So far, the migrant crisis has cost $6.5 billion with a B out of pocket. Wow. So if there's no other elected official in New York, maybe it's just me, but I want to say thank you to President Trump. Thank you to Tom Homan, because as a taxpayer in this city, I don't know how long we can possibly sustain this wave of illegal people living on our dime. I mean, thankfully, we have seen a reduction in the numbers thanks to some of the work that Trump has done on the border already. So we are closing some of our migrant shelters. But how do we get back that $6.5 billion that could have gone to schools, to hospitals, to nurses, to firefighters, or even, making the flowers in the park grow nicer?
Now, again, check this out. In Chicago, how much is the budget? How much over budget are they? And shout out to everybody that just came in. Shout out to Jesse. How much? Shout out to Black Spider. Shout out to David. Shout out to Fantasy. What's good with y'all? How much is the budget in Chicago? How much over budget are they? They're over budget a pretty significant amount, aren't they? You know what I'm saying? A pretty significant amount.
All these things were taken from us because the Democratic Party fundamentally failed us at the border and here in our large cities.
Well, Vashon, what's happening in places like Fairfax County, Virginia, which is right outside of D.C., is a very wealthy area, but the public schools have seen a decrease in enrollment. COVID, but a lot of the politics in public schools, a lot of especially Christian parents that pulled their kids out. So the illegal influx of students is actually helpful to the teachers' unions, a whole new generation to propagandize to, I guess. So that's also kind of an unholy alliance, along with Catholic Charities, sadly, Lutheran Services, all these other NGOs.
So I didn't even know you was live, bro. Shout out to TD. TD said, man, I swear if you go live, when I go live one more time, we're going to have to squabble up. We're going to have to squabble up. We're going to have to squad up. Like, what's your boy's name? Stack Bundles. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Stack Bundles. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the thing. We have to just start putting Americans first. Like, it's just as simple as that. And I believe Tom Homan is doing the right job when it comes to putting Americans first. And I just want to say this to all the criers out there who are crying over the undocumented immigrants who's been here for years and whatever, like Selena Gomez. Tom Homan has already made.
Yeah, how many people heard about Selena Gomez? I guess she was crying about the undocumented immigrants. She was actually crying. It was actual tears. How many people saw it?
It's clear. If you are here illegally, you're not off the table. You are committing a crime within itself if you're here illegally in America.
I mean, again, but they
Shout
just
out
want
to
to
you,
say,
Law.
oh, that
Let's
doesn't
deal with it,
matter.
bro.
Well, that's why we have millions of people here, Joe. It does. If they told the world that if you come here illegally, you can stay indefinitely. They broadcast that to the world, and you in New York are suffering, and you in Chicago and Oakland and St. Louis and little towns across America, you're all suffering as a result, Joe.
Right. I mean, Tom Homan's fundamentally right. He talked about consequences as being the negative and being the reason people don't come. But the consequences when they're giving you free stuff and free health.
She had the ugly cry. Oh, man. It was one of them cries. She had all that. She had the shiny upper lip. Oh, man, that's trifling. She had that upper lip sheen. That's sick.
Care and free schools, and fundamentally the life that many of them do hope for. Of course, more people are going to come. It doesn't take a genius to realize it. In fact, even Eric Adams tried to fly down to South America at one.
Shout out to my man John Guillory. Make sure y'all throw some targets, some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for my man John Guillory for funding the organization for 4 months, standing on business. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show him some love. All right.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate it, bro. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media.
One point during this crisis to try to convince people that this wasn't in their best interest. But until we stopped giving them, basically everything they possibly need for free, they weren't going to stop coming. That changed when Donald Trump took office on day one, and I suspect it's going to get better from here on in.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have to be removed, and it's got to be a pace that it's going to be hard to maintain, but we just have to do it. Vashon, Joe, thank you so much.
Yeah, again, it's interesting, right? Trump came in day one for the most part, hit the ground running. As far as this immigration stuff goes, you know what I'm saying? He's not playing around. So I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but how many immigrants with criminal backgrounds have been arrested since Trump took office? Does anybody have a number? If anybody's got a number, throw the number in the chat. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot.
The Department of Homeland Security says more than 7,000 criminal migrants have now been arrested in President Trump's first week of office. As Rebecca...
Now, I want to ask this question. What would have happened with those people had they not been arrested? What would they have been doing? What would have been done? What would be the situation had those 7,000 criminals not been arrested? Let me know what you guys think.
Caster reports the focus now turns to another major city.
In New York City, a massive federal operation is underway to get criminal illegal migrants off the streets as part of President Trump's nationwide crackdown.
We're tracking down the illegal alien criminals. We're detaining them, and we are throwing them the hell out of our country. We have no apologies, and we're moving forward very fast.
Leading the charge Tuesday is newly confirmed Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. She posted this video on X of ICE agents arresting a man who they say is a violent criminal with kidnapping and assault charges.
Right now, we're concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. Anybody in the country illegally, they're on the table, but we're going to go after them in a prioritization that makes sense. The worst first.
Meanwhile, at the southern border, illegal crossings have plummeted, with multiple sources telling.
So since the illegal crossings have plummeted, right, since the illegal crossings have plummeted, that would probably be a good indication that what's been going on has been pretty effective. It's been a pretty effective deterrent, right?
Fox News, Border Patrol recorded less than 600 illegal crossings on Sunday. At the height of the border crisis in 2023, daily crossings were over 5,000.
It's the difference between night and day. I don't remember a day, in my 26-year career as a Border Patrol agent that we had that few apprehensions.
The ramped up enforcement making life more difficult for the cartels. Several Border Patrol agents were shot at in South Texas on Monday, with the cartel members seeking refuge on an island between the U.S. and Mexico. Fortunately, none of those Texas Border Patrol agents were injured.
Yeah, so that's wild. And then remember that last report that we looked at yesterday where they were talking about how the cartel is putting bombs out there on the road. So, if you happen to live in Texas, just be careful. Don't drive over any bombs or anything like that. All right. So next, what we're going to talk about is what's going on in New York City. And I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but right now, as we speak, there are high profile raids going on in New York City. All right.
Solis is following the latest on these mass deportation efforts, and he has details on the arrest in the High Bridge section. Marcus, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Michelle and David. We saw a crackdown by the Trump administration begin last week in a number of sanctuary cities across the nation. It began in earnest here in New York City this morning, specifically the Bronx, with these raids taking place on Ogden Avenue and here on Creston Ave. That's how this resident of an apartment on Creston Avenue describes being awakened during an early morning raid that saw federal law enforcement agents take an individual into custody. The picture is posted by the DEA. This woman, who doesn't want to be identified, says the man from the Dominican Republic rented a room about a month ago. He told him he was married and they still took him away, she says. The arrest was part of a sweeping operation.
So she's upset that because he said that he was married, they still took him away. Listen, if you tell somebody that you're married and you get a speeding ticket, are you going to not get the speed? Are you going to not get the speeding ticket because you happen to be married? I mean, to me, just some of this stuff is just so wild and it's just so bizarre. And people think that these explanations or some of these justifications that people make for some of this stuff is going to carry. It's just, I don't even know what to say.
In the High Bridge section of the Bronx. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem on hand herself, posting pictures, taking part in briefings. The person taken into custody is identified as Anderson Zambrano Pacheco, an alleged member of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua, who authorities describe as a ringleader wanted for kidnapping.
So again, why are people outraged that people like this are getting taken away in these sweeps? You know what I mean? Does it make sense? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share this stream to your social media.
Kristi Noem on hand herself, posting pictures, taking part in briefings. The person taken into custody is identified as Anderson Zambrano Pacheco, an alleged member of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua, who authorities describe as a ringleader wanted for kidnapping, burglary, and menacing in an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. Since last week, hundreds of undocumented individuals have been detained nationwide. An ICE spokesman says federal agencies began conducting enhanced targeted operations today in New York City. For some residents in the Bronx, the arrests come as a welcome development.
I'm really happy it's happening. Very happy, actually. I've been seeing prostitution, women are walking around in skirts. It's just very obvious they're prostitutes walking around. The building got worse the moment these people came in.
While it's unclear the charges related to the individual taken into custody here on Creston Ave, as far as the arrest in across the borough with Anderson Zambrano Pacheco, 25-year-old alleged gang member in that Colorado operation, that investigation, that suspect to appear in federal court later.
Now, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get more in depth with what's been going on in Colorado, because there's been some crazy things going on in Colorado, and there's been some raids as well that have happened with some individuals getting detained there that haven't really gotten a lot of, airplay. We're going to be talking about those
this afternoon. And because that was an ongoing criminal case, that is why the NYPD was involved in that operation that took place earlier this morning, as opposed to others involving immigration authorities. And we're live in the High Bridge section of the Bronx. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Now, do you guys see this down here? Man speaks out after getting his fingers chopped off in machete attack. I mean, that's just wow. It's just that's just insane. That's just like it's just what's actually going on out here. People are just wilding out, man. Why doesn't he? I don't even know what to say, man. Is there any motivation for people to even be outside anymore? For real? Like, let's just keep it a buck.
So 15 minutes now before the hour is breaking news right now. It's happening. Christy Nome was in New York today with ICE agents continuing their apprehension of criminal illegal aliens in major American cities. Thus far, more than 7,300 have been taken off the streets in 1 week alone. And now the focus is New York City. That's a big focus, too. Alexis McAdams on the sidewalk to tell us what's happening out there. Alexis, good morning.
Hey, Bill. Well, we talked about it for months, the migrant crime all across the Big Apple. So now those crackdowns are here. As we speak, ICE is raiding areas specifically out in the Bronx, and they're looking to target, Bill, migrants who they say are dangerous, including a Venezuelan man who was arrested earlier this morning who they say is dangerous. Take a look here, okay? This is some of the video. These guys.
So we got to ask this question about this individual that got arrested earlier, this Trinde Aragua member. How did he get into the country? How did he get into the United States? How did that happen? What processes allowed these coordinated, organized criminal gangs to just easily enter the United States and set up shop in major cities around the United States? How did that happen? You know what I'm saying? How can that be prevented from happening in the future? If you know, these are things that people should really be focusing on. Shout out to everybody watching. Again, I appreciate you guys. We got 17 people watching and we got 15 likes. If everybody could throw the 100s in the chat, we need 2 people to smash the like button to get on the 1-to-1 ratio. And let's try to get the likes to 30. All right, smash that like button, share.
Rolled out into the streets of New York around 3 o'clock this morning. ICE agents out there on the streets. DHS showing us this video of the suspect cuffed, taken into custody out in the Bronx. The Venezuelan migrant arrested on these charges, okay? Kidnapping, assault, and burglary. Authorities say he crossed into the U.S. illegally at some point and had a warrant for his arrest out in Colorado, so they were looking for him for quite some time. Leading the charge this morning, DHS Secretary Christy Nome, who says she's on the ground doing exactly what President Trump promised the American people. This was a multi-agency effort. Federal, state, local partners, you name it, they're all out there. The ICE raids aim to remove violent criminals who are not supposed to be in this country in the first place. Back out here live, the raids are not just happening right here in New York City, but across the country. We've been showing it to you since the start of the administration. This is something the president said he was going to do, including a raid out in Denver. Watch.
Police start fire! Police start fire!
And the task force arresting 2 migrants there from Mexico who have ties to the Sinaloa and Jalisco drug cartels. 130,000 fentanyl pills found in that apartment.
You guys hear that? So again, the question is, where's the media coverage on some of these people? You notice how like you never hear about these individuals on CBS, CNN, MSNBC, any of those channels? Where's the coverage at about these people here?
Watch.
Police start fire! Police start fire!
And the task force arresting 2 migrants there from Mexico who have ties to the Sinaloa and Jalisco drug cartels. 130,000 fentanyl pills found in that apartment, along with cocaine, meth, and heroin. The border czar says this is just the start of these raids. Back out here in New York, they've already arrested a suspect who they say is a suspected terrorist who was hiding out in New York the other day. And they got him behind bars. So this continues as these guys are still out in the streets right now.
Well, we could go for some time, too. Alexis, thank you. Nice to see you. Alexis McAdams outside with us today.
All right, let's bring in retired NYPD Lieutenant Darren Porcher. Darren, great to have you with us this afternoon. I don't ever remember seeing Alejandro Mayorkas, on the street during ICE raids, helping to get rid of these people. And we know who they are. This is what gets me. They already know who these people are. They're just removing them.
Right. Well, it's clearly we have diametric enforcement as relates to this administration compared to the prior administration. But it really begs the question, and it's quite telling, what the American people wanted was immigration reform. They want these illegal migrants that have come into this country to be removed, because you have a lot more people that have come to this country lawfully. And believe it or not, it's those lawful migrants that want the illegal migrants removed from this country. 55% of Latino males voted for Trump's agenda because it pushed.
Shout out to AW1. AW1 says, yo, Rob, some people already regret voting for Trump because they thought some of these policies were going to hurt Black Americans. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? How do you deal with that? What do you guys think about that? Shout out to U-Law. U-Law said fentanyl pills. I thought they were coming here to work hard. No, they was coming here with that hard work. They was coming here with that hard work. You know what I'm saying? They had some soft pills and some hard white. They had some hard pills and some soft white. So what do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think. Carlton says, I disagree. Cassie says, I don't know what to think about that.
Push the perspective of getting rid of these illegal migrants.
They want to be safe too.
The question of priorities too. I mean, New York City in 2 years has spent $7 billion on nearly 230,000 illegals seeking asylum here. They want to charge you more money for driving your car in Midtown. That's extraordinary.
Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, interesting. Brooklyn Queen said, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm just sitting back here counting my money. Brooklyn Queen, John, and AB Promotions and Carlton said, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. We just sitting back here counting that money.
Illegal immigrants, here we go, 759,000 total. However, 58,626 with criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. And that's the number that people like Tom Homan is going after.
Absolutely right. Look at it from the perspective of a macro and a micro level of enforcement. The macro is the broader perspective of the country. The micro is the focus on cities, which are sanctuary cities such as New York. The target is getting these illegal migrants out. We want to live in a safe society. And what you're going to see from the micro perspective in these sanctuary cities such as New York and Chicago, the crime rates are going to go down because we're going to remove a lot of these illegal migrants from these cities.
Yeah. Here's my conversation a while back with Mayor Eric Adams about this, because it could change politics in the city as well. Here's what he said when I asked him about letting ICE do their work.
Find a way through executive orders to allow ICE to function in the city, to carry out deportations?
We're going to allow them to, the areas where we can allow them to do right now, we're going to sit down with our attorneys and see what executive orders I can do to give me more power to go after those who are creating illegal acts.
How does that square with what you're seeing on the street right now?
Well, I think Mayor Adams is closing the gate after the horses already escaped. I mean, this illegal migration has reached epic proportions, and there were many instances in the past where this could have been thwarted and it didn't happen. I think that he's getting on the bandwagon, but fortunately, the progression is going in the right direction to keeping us as the 8.5 million residents being safe. We're under siege based on this migrant crisis. When you go blocks away, you see a migrant shelter everywhere, and the crime is going through the roof, but hopefully we can get the job done.
Darren, what do you do when the churches or the schools protect them?
How do you feel about having a violent migrant in a school? So just think about that as a parent. Do you want a violent migrant in the schools? No.
They go, yeah, shout out to AW1. They go, Eric Adams, double talking Slick E.
So there should be no holds barred. You should have the ability to go in there, if you have a warrant or not, to remove a violent individual from a school to ensure that our students are safe.
Well, they talked about Chicago for weeks, and they pulled back and waited a few days. And now New York is in the crosshairs, and we'll see how it goes. Darren, thanks.
All right, so check this out. How many people heard about that whole Dr. Phil thing? If you guys heard about that Dr. Phil thing, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. We're going to go into that a little bit more tomorrow, but we're going to take a couple looks at this, all right? We're going to take a couple looks at this. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Now, I heard that Jim Acosta, he flipped out and left CNN. Did anybody hear about that? I'm not too sure about the details about that, but it's just something that I heard happened, and I just thought it was funny.
With CNET Priscilla Alvarez. Priscilla, are these raids still happening this morning? It sounds like this is ramping up as the days go on.
I'm told by sources that this is going to be a multi-day operation that is going to happen across the United States. They're calling this enhanced enforcement operations. What does that mean? Well, this is going to be multiple agencies, not only ICE, but also Justice Department agencies who were given immigration.
Shout out to TD. TD said, I just tuned back into the stream. But did he crash out live on air? I don't think it was a live crash out. I think he might have made a statement and he left or something like that. Like, I guess CNN is cleaning house. They're getting rid of a lot of people. Bro, you could get over there and turn CNN red. You know what I'm saying? Go put in an application. How many people remember when Trump rolled up on Jim Acosta? I forget, it was at some conference or something. And Trump put the microphone down and went right up to Jim Acosta and bucked up on him. Anybody remember that? I remember that. It was hilarious. if I can't remember what it was about. I think it was in regards to when they had that bombing in Syria with the chlorine gas or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody remember that? I think it was like in 2017.
Authority last week. That includes, for example, DEA, ATF, the U.S. Marshals. They're all coming together to what the Trump officials are calling force multipliers. I spoke to White House border czar Tom Homan last night, and he told me that this was a, quote, game changer, and that the focus in Chicago, and again, it wasn't just enforcement action in Chicago, but that's where he...
Shout out to look, shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions said, I've been trying to send a super chat, but it won't let me. Listen, hey, shout out to everybody, right? Shout out to AB Promotions, and this goes out to anybody that's trying to send your boy money. You know what I'm saying? If the super chat is telling you no, I guarantee you that the Cash App will tell you yeah. The Cash App will tell you yes. The Cash App will tell you yes. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know in the chat that you did it, and I got you. Shout out to my man Fomosaki, man. Listen, it's always better if Fomosaki spends the FOMO funds on me than on actual FOMO. You know what I'm saying?
was on the ground was a, quote, criminal operation. So again, what we are seeing that is different in this scenario is that there are so many agencies that are coming together for this operation of arresting undocumented immigrants in the United States. Now, the numbers that Immigration and Customs Enforcement put out last night was nearly 1,000. So if we look at that as a day, well, in the last year, arrests hovered around 300 a day. So that would be higher, and they're...
Shout out to AW1. Yeah, AW1. Yeah, I got a Zelle, but I don't really use it all like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really use Zelle all like that. I do got one, though.
Expecting to ramp that up over time. Now, as far as where else we may see this, well, it can be in multiple cities across the United States, according to the sources I've been talking to. And while they are saying that this is to target public safety and national security threats, it could very well also affect many other undocumented immigrants in the United States. If they are in the path of these operations, it has not been off the table that they may be taken into custody as well as the fear within the immigrant community as this continues on over the course of the weeks to come, according to Trump officials.
Yeah, a lot of fear right now. And Brazil apparently is calling out the Trump administration for its, quote, degrading treatment of migrants. What can you tell us about that?
Well, this was a pushback from Brazil over a repatriation flight. They said that they had concerns about the treatment of the passengers and the degrading treatment, citing U.S. agreements that say that migrants should be handled humanely and with respect. Here is a soundbite of a Brazilian man who's on this flight.
They attacked the kids. I sat there until I reached my limit. I couldn't take it.
Now, check this out. I got a question. Does anybody else find it interesting that a lot of these people seem to be upset when the kids get allegedly, quote unquote, attacked by Border Patrol, which I don't think is really necessarily attacks. I think it's just people getting arrested and detained, versus when they get attacked and actually deleted by cartel members that they paid to illegally be smuggled into the United States. Isn't that interesting? What do people think about that? Let me know what you guys think.
It anymore. People fainted. I asked to leave and he choked me. He pulled my handcuffs. I couldn't.
Shout out to TD. I agree. If you guys agree with TD, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. TD says they're always so desperate to weaponize children in their narratives. Another thing that they're always desperate to do is weaponize children to help them get their way. They'll even send the kids alone, you know, through the desert with coyotes. I mean, honestly, like when it comes to the kids, when you look at how kids are treated in these situations, it's almost like they don't even have any value. You know what I'm saying? It's wild.
I didn't stay because I was handcuffed on my feet and stomach. There was nothing I could do. The security guard's arm started bleeding because he was pulling my chain, squeezing me.
Now, we're still collecting more details about the circumstances of this flight. Typically, immigrants would not be handcuffed during the flight, but it does happen in scenarios where there may be a specific threat or criminal history. So again, we're still collecting details, but just some context there in terms of what he was referring to.
Shout out to Deacon Dave. What's good with you, bro? Hey. Oh, it's a player's. Go, Shorty. It's your birthday. Hey, that's what's good. Make sure y'all show my man AB Promotion some love. It's his birthday. You know what I'm saying? AB Promotion said it's a player's birthday today. That's what's good, bro. happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like the migrants would say, Feliz cumpleaños. Shout out to you, bro, for the ducats. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, and some ducks in the chat for AB for funding the organization and contribute to his birthday, man. Put your Cash App in the chat. Hopefully somebody sends you some birthday ducats. Let's go.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around. I'm rich, bitch.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Shout out to Tedra. Tedra said, was that a setup? It worked because I'm able to send a super chat. You know, me and AB was texting each other. You know what I'm saying? Me and AB was texting each other. Yo, I still think there's some problems. Anybody else want to test run? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tedra. Make sure y'all show Tedra some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for Tedra for funding the organization. Definitely appreciate you.
Silence. I ain't got no money, pie.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to Deacon Dave. Yo, shout out to Deacon Dave. Deacon Dave said, happy birthday, AB. Yo, AB, shout out to you, bro. I got some money for your birthday. That's how a true player do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how a true player do it. I got some money for my man's birthday. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate it.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
I'm an old Mac from way back. One of the original players from the Himalaya.
Hey, and shout out to my man AB running it back. Make sure y'all show my man AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for AB. AB said, thank you guys. Appreciate all of you. Yeah, big facts, man. Shout out to you, bro. Definitely. Enjoy your birthday, man. We know you about to pop some champagne. We already know you about to pop some champagne. We got to run it back for AB.
Again! How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around. I'm rich, bitch.
You know AB about to pop that champagne. And shout out to AW1. AW1 said it was his birthday last week. Happy belated. All right, let me run this real quick. And shout out to everybody. If y'all haven't smashed that like button yet, do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
To when it comes to handcuffs.
All right, Priscilla Alvarez, thank you. In the meantime, migrant rights groups in Chicago are now suing the Trump administration and ICE, saying planned deportation operations are retaliatory and violate the First and Fourth Amendments.
What do you all think about these constitutionality questions in regards to these quote unquote raids? What do you guys think about that? Let me know what you guys think.
Lawsuit claims that the raids specifically target Chicago for its sanctuary city.
Hey, shout out to my man John Guillory selling off some profits. Shout out to my man John Guillory selling off some profits. Make sure y'all show John some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, and some ducks in the chat for John. John says, salute, AB, fellow crypto millionaire investor. Facts. Drop that Cash App. Yeah, hey, drop the Cash App, AB. Drop the Cash App, bruh. Drop the Cash App. Everybody type in the chat. Drop the Cash App, AB. Definitely appreciate you, John.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Silence! Silence! I ain't got no money, pop.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch.
There's poor people around. Hey, look, hey, hide the money, y'all. It's people that use fiat around. It really is, too.
Status. Let's bring in Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I guess, first of all, this law.
There it is right there. Kwame Raoul. Here we go on today's episode of Who's Holding the Crowbar. Today's contestant, Kwame Raoul. Today's contestant on Who's Holding the Crowbar, Kwame Raoul.
Lawsuit says that the Trump administration has, quote, declared Chicago ground zero for immigration enforcement. What do you make of that?
Well, I haven't seen the lawsuit that you're referring to, but certainly we've heard prior to President Trump taking office that Chicago would be targeted. We were expecting it. I think immigration enforcement should take place. However, it should not be targeted for political reasons.
And, sir, I wonder if you can help us out with something. NBC is citing Trump administration officials reporting that more ICE operations are expected today in Illinois. Are you hearing that as well? Are you getting notification from ICE officials, from the administration, that this is going on or this is ramping up?
Quite frankly, the notification I'm getting is from you and the rest of the media. Unfortunately, historically, we've had a good.
Oh man, we're gonna have to go over it. We're gonna have to go over it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB. AB said yes. Jim took his ball and went home. Definitely hilarious. Oh, he's gonna be the next. He's gonna be the next news anchor turned YouTuber. How many news anchors turned YouTubers are there now? And what's fascinating is, established YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, people like TD, they're getting way more views than these news anchors turned YouTubers. And what's funny is, so now that a lot of the news anchors have been turned YouTubers, are they holding themselves to the same standard that they would attack YouTubers and podcasters over? Because now they're a podcaster. Now they're a YouTuber, right? Shout out to my man AB. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AB for funding the organization. Definitely appreciate it. Yo, throw some targets in the chat. Did we actually hit the goal? I think we might actually hit the goal. Shout out to y'all if we did. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AB for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to my man John. And you know what? I got this. we're gonna have to make this a bundle package. This for John and AB.
Again.
John said, hide the money, y'all. There's illegal migrants around. Never mind, they just taken away by ICE. Yeah, facts. Not only are they taken away by ICE, but now you can hide the money because they're not getting all of it anymore, right? Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Silence! Silence! I ain't got no money, pop.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Definitely appreciate it.
Working relationship with our law enforcement, our federal law enforcement partners, and we want to continue that. I started that halfway through first Trump administration, and we plan on continuing that focus on criminal operations. However, it's been a collaboration with communication, and I'm learning about things through the media.
And Mr. Attorney General, what is the reaction that you're hearing from the community right now? Are you hearing about heavy-handed tactics, U.S. citizens being picked up accidentally? Can you tell us anecdotally what
U.S. citizens are being picked up in an operation targeting migrants? How would that even happen? And shout out to everybody, man. We got 19 people watching and we got 19 likes. We on the 1-to-1 ratio. Throw that 100 in the chat. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, take a moment, smash that like button. If you guys haven't hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get the likes to 40.
you're hearing, what's coming across your desk as these operations are unfolding?
Well, unfortunately, this shock and awe approach, which involves trying to have cameras and having, celebrities like Dr. Phil embedded within it.
Now, again, we got to ask, can I ask this question to everybody? Why is this guy here holding the crowbar? Why is this guy holding the crowbar? Because this dude right here, he's holding the crowbar, right? So why is he holding the crowbar? To me, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. What's the benefit in it? How is this going to help anything? What is this going to help, actually? Shout out to my man AB Promotions for running it back again. Man, my man feeling generous on his birthday. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Again! Definitely appreciate you, bro. AB says, also, Chris Cuomo did an interview with the border czar. All I can say is more collateral. Too funny. Bro, that's hilarious. Yeah, he did. He did do an interview with Tom Homan. And they was talking about the collateral. Shout out to you, bro. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AB for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around. I'm rich, bitch.
Hide the money, y'all. Is fiat users around?
Is meant to upset a community that we rely on to partake in solving public safety problems. This undermines the ability for communities to come forth and collaborate with law enforcement to solve crimes. When it's being said that this operation is to focus on people who have committed crimes, I think it's going to have an opposite effect in the long run. It's a wide net seemingly being casted, and inevitably you'll have effects of racial profiling and
how? So again, you see what the default is? Do you see what he defaulted to? Let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to everybody watching. Now, I'm sure that there's some people, right? You got, some people, right? Because some, nobody looks everybody looks different, right? So, some people, right? But not everybody, right? How many black people have ever been racially profiled for quote unquote any type of immigration issue? Has that ever happened to anybody in the chat? If that's ever happened to you, give me a thumbs up. If it hasn't, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to AB running it back again. My man AB selling off some of that baby doge. My man selling off some of that baby doge. I know what's popping over there. Again! AB said also Chris Cuomo did it. Oh, did I hit that one? Yeah, I think I got that one already. It's all right though. We're gonna give you another one.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Shout out to Carlton Way. Carlton Way said, "Can I get a refund? I was trying to buy some XRP." Listen, I'm gonna do you with XRP like how Crypto.com and Coinbase did me with my how they did me with my Polygon. They did me like UGK. One day it's here, and then it's gone, and then the next day it was gone. I'm gonna do you like that UGK coin. That's how Coinbase and Crypto.com did me with my Polygon. They did me. They turned it into UGK coin. One day it was there, then the next day it was gone. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate it.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
That's how they did me, man. My 642 Polygon tokens that I had, gone. I shouldn't say Polygon. I should be more specific. Matic, right? Because they changed it to Polygon native token and decided not to tell people, you know what I'm saying, that you can't use the same wallet. You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Phil embedded within is meant to upset a community.
So yeah, so again, we got to address this, right? How do you get racial profiling in this? What is this guy talking about? What is he talking about? Let me ask you guys this question. Has law enforcement ever pulled you over and asked you to see your I-9 documentation? Has that ever happened to anybody? If that's ever happened, give me a thumbs up. Tell us your story. If it hasn't, you know what I'm saying, give us a thumbs down.
Community right now. Are you hearing about heavy-handed tactics, U.S. citizens being picked up accidentally? Can you tell us anecdotally what you're hearing, what's coming across your desk as these operations are unfolding?
Well, unfortunately, this shock and awe approach, which involves trying to have cameras and having celebrities like Dr. Phil embedded within is meant.
Now, I want you to pay very close attention to how this guy is quote unquote scoffing, right? Because this is what you would call scoffing, right? At shock and awe approaches and use of celebrities. Is there anybody else that we know that uses quote unquote shock and awe approaches and celebrities? If you know anybody else that does that, let me know who does it.
To upset a community that we rely on to partake in solving public safety problems. This undermines the ability for communities to come forth and collaborate with law enforcement to solve crimes. When it's being said that this operation is to focus on people who have committed crimes, I think it's going to have an opposite effect in the long run. It's a wide net seemingly being casted, and inevitably you'll have effects of racial profiling.
Who's holding the crowbar? Who's holding the crowbar? Who's holding the crowbar? Is that guy holding the crowbar? That's crowbar talk.
and upsetting a community that would otherwise collaborate with law enforcement.
Well, you mentioned Dr. Phil, the daytime talk show host. I did want to ask you about that because he is now apparently joining in on Trump's immigration crackdown or getting access to it. He filmed at the ICE command center in Chicago, even questioned a detainee with Tom Homan, the head of ICE. Do you know why Dr. Phil, a TV personality, is getting involved in all of this, getting all this access? What's going on?
I would say probably the same thing that happens all over the place, right? I think it's fascinating that this guy is acting clueless. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you all think is going on? I mean, is this something that we need to be concerned about? We got Dr. Phil getting all this access. I mean, what's going on? What about a lot of these people, like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and the access that quote unquote they have? Because let's just make sure that we're all on the same page here. Those individuals do have access, right? They do have access, right?
I think it's ridiculous. It's making a mockery of what is supposed to be a focused. If it's law enforcement, if it's focusing on criminals, you don't invite folks like that who have no law enforcement background to be embedded within. I think it's inappropriate.
So ride-alongs are now inappropriate. Okay. What do you guys think? I don't think Dr. Phil arrested anybody. I don't think he read anybody any Miranda rights. Right? Now, mind you, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that didn't happen, because you have to have special privileges and qualifications to be able to do those things. So I highly doubt they just threw a badge on him and said, get at it, go arrest some people. How many times do people watch documentary TV shows where there's people who tag along and are loosely involved for interrogation purposes in what's going on? I mean, they do this on Vice all the time, right?
I think it's done for the show, and I think it's done to upset community and to score political points with those who want to divide.
Now, when he says to do this to upset quote unquote community, what is he talking about here? What community is this? This is community. People throw out this word community so often. If you ask me, the word community is becoming increasingly dangerous. And I think it's something that people need to get away from. But I don't think that people will get away from it because people have so little that they'll put pride in anything that seems like it has any type of substance. And this quote unquote idea of this, I don't know, this large spanning undefinable community is what tends to get people's ears perked up, which is why this guy keeps mentioning it. Anytime people continuously mention something to try to get you emotionally involved, the idea of people with functioning brains is to pick up on that and not continue to dive into those narratives, because they're doing that to try to mislead you. If people will be able to resist this type of thing, only time will tell. My advice would be to resist this type of thing, but we will see. We will see. So when this guy is talking about community, what is he talking about? Because he, in one instance, mentioned racial profiling, and then in another instance, mentioned immigrants. Immigrants are multi-race. You can't look at somebody, and tell their immigration status. So I don't know what that would have to do with that. But remember, this is him holding the crowbar. So we're trying to figure out what it is that he's saying. What is this guy saying? What is he saying?
And it sounds like he's getting access, whereas we're not seeing the rest of the media getting access. What does that tell you? Isn't that a little strange?
Was the rest of the media told no? I don't think the rest of the media, as a matter of fact, this right here is a blatant lie, because we've seen Tom Homan on multiple occasions invite people to talk. So now here's my question. Who has Tom Homan and Trump denied access to in regards to being involved with any of this? Because didn't Tom Homan invite Chris Cuomo to come with him and see these things live? Did that not happen? If that happened, give me a thumbs up. If it didn't happen, give me a thumbs down. So now what I want people to see right here is that this is blatant mis and disinformation from this CNN news anchor, because there's news clips out there with Tom Homan speaking directly to Chris Cuomo, inviting him and other people to come along and see what happens. Right? Did these things happen, ladies and gentlemen? Am I just making stuff up? If it happened, give me a thumbs up. If it did not happen, give me a thumbs down. So now, for the test of information integrity, right, which, clearly it's not really a priority. It's a priority for me. I kind of care about that thing, right? But I care about things that people don't care about, right? Is this an accurate report? If this is an accurate report, give me a thumbs up. If it's not, give me a thumbs down.
Yes, it's you have somebody that's favorable to the message that you.
Shout out to Catsy. I think Fox might have done a ride along in Boston, but I know for a fact that the local news affiliate for sure did a ride along in Boston. And I think that report that Fox did might have had a little bit of that local news affiliate ride along mixed with some of their own original content. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but I think it was.
You want to send that's it's adverse to our First Amendment for sure. But it's also adverse to appropriate law enforcement practices.
Mr. Attorney General, this immigration crackdown is sparking fear across the country. I'm sure you're hearing this. Migrants are refusing to leave their homes. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to go to work. We learned of 2 young sisters in a Chicago suburb who haven't gone to school since Trump took office. And let's listen to a woman who says her father was taken by ICE yesterday after living in the U.S. for 30 years. Let's listen to this.
For them to just take like that. I'm already heartbroken myself, and I can't really imagine little kids whose families are breaking apart because of this.
Mr.
What y'all think about the waterworks? What y'all think about them waterworks?
After living in the U.S. for 30 years. Let's listen to this.
For them to just take like that. I'm already heartbroken myself, and I can't really imagine little kids whose families are breaking apart because of this.
Mr. Attorney General, what do you say to the migrants in
heavy.
your state right now who are terrified? And I guess what's the message to the White House border czar, Tom Homan?
The reality is, I'm a son of Haitian immigrants and who made tremendous contributions.
So again, I think it's interesting, right? When it comes down to it, and then you hear these kind of things. Again, there's the vested personal interest. There's the vested personal interest, which one could say is a conflict of interest versus not. Right? Damn, shout out to AB. AB ain't playing. He said, "Cry, cry blood." You know what I'm saying? He said, "Cry blood."
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumra, the ever-living.
Hey, this is at the southern border when Trump won the election, it almost caused an earthquake because they all did this at the same time.
You cheated! I'm going to tell on you!
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Mr. Attorney General, what do you say to the migrants in your state right now who are terrified? And I guess what's the message to the White House border czar, Tom Homan?
The reality is, I'm a son of Haitian immigrants and who made tremendous contributions to this country during their decades here. Likewise, that we have millions of immigrants who are doing the same, upon whom our economy
Now here goes the question, right? Did the family come in legally or did they come in illegally? I don't understand why that part is always left out. I understand why that part is left out, but that's the actual important part, right?
Leans on. And I think this is going to have an upsetting effect on our economy, on the stability of our communities. These are people who make contributions, pay taxes, and are just part of the fabric of our community here in Chicago and throughout the nation.
And Mr. Attorney General, I mean, one thing that we heard from Tom Homan and from this administration is that they are warning public officials like yourself not to get in the way of these ICE operations. What's your response to that? And are you making any I guess, efforts on your part to say, hang on a second, you can't go in there and do some of the things that you're trying to do? Or are you concerned that if you do that, the administration will come after you?
Well, I don't react to such intimidation tactics. No, I have no intent on interfering with legal immigration enforcement processes. What is clear here in the state of Illinois is that we have a trust act that says that local and state law enforcement.
Hey, shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, what about the migrants coming from the northern border? Bro, the migrants coming from the northern border got the cars going crazy up there. You remember when that car jumped up off that ramp like like a Stunacon? It's going ham at the northern border, but it's not getting much attention.
Resources cannot be used for such unless there's a federal criminal warrant or other federal law. And so it's my duty to uphold the law of the state of Illinois. We have a 10th Amendment that grows out of it, an anti-commandeering doctrine that says that the federal government cannot commandeer local and state officials to do the work of the federal government. And I'm going to stand by our Constitution. I'm going to stand by our state law.
All right, Mr. Attorney General.
Now look at this. They got this video down here. We're going to watch this one. We're going to watch this tomorrow. This video of the flights that touched down in Guatemala. All right, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, players and pimps, shout out to you all. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media. All right. Make sure you guys show the stream sponsors some love. Definitely appreciate them, because without them, there are no streams. All right. Shout out to my man, John Guillory. Make sure y'all show John some love. Throw some flames, radiation emoji, some ducks in the chat for John. Shout out to AB. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Show AB some birthday love too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tedra. We fooled Tedra. We robbed her for 5 ducats. Definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Deacon Dave. Definitely appreciate Deacon Dave. You know what I'm saying? Deacon Dave slid your boy some birthday ducats for AB's birthday. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out to AB. You know what I'm saying? For hitting the super chat again. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Again! Shout out to John for hitting the super chat again. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure y'all show John some love. Again! Definitely appreciate it. My man AB running it back. Again! John running it back. Again! AB running it back again. Again! And Carlton sent some money. He sent some US dollars to the wrong wallet address. And, you know, like what happened to me with my Polygon. Sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mess with you, but I don't know what to tell you except for thanks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate it. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,